Hi, we're Modern Love on indiebuddy.com. Yeah, and it's our the first proper gig that we have back since COVID, and to sell it out is great, especially considering, in Ireland it was so will it not happen, with restrictions. It was kind of all up in the air, and we were worried that people wouldn't buy tickets because they think it might be pushed back again. So yeah, considering COVID and everything, it's I think it's a very big deal to us to have this sold out weeks in advance before playing. It seems to be.
We actually have a little meme page that was made of it.
Yeah,
yeah,
we have Instagram pages popping up.
We don't seem to have many fans,
but the ones we have like us. Yeah, they like us a bit.
Well, and I mean, someone drew a picture of me and posted it up.
There
We
you
have
go.
that's
I forgot about that.
our first piece of fan art
We're
ever.
super mega famous, basically.
Yeah, pretty
That's what
much.
it is.
It was,
quite nice,
Yeah, it was very
yeah.
nice.
Shame it was a view, but
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Whoever drew the picture, draw one of these guys next, because
Yeah,
please,
get Graham, man.
me, yeah.
Get Graham in there.
there's just no way to do this justice,
Oh my
Or you have
I'm
to
joking.
leave, man.
Alright,
You're done.
no, it was lovely, and thanks
You
very
are
much.
done, man.
Yeah, well, that was our first time ever in another country, and
it was our first
And
gig.
first gig in
from
2 years,
yeah.
pretty much.
2 years, yeah. And because we weren't selling any tickets, it wasn't up to us. It was a festival. We had no idea what sort of crowd would be there, and if they were there, would they like us? Would we be well rehearsed enough for it? Because we just weren't used to playing gigs anymore. So it was like a big, very big thing.
It was really nice to do it though, because we got there and we obviously never been to the city or anything, and never been outside of Ireland with the band, and then to play to a packed room.
Yeah,
for our first time
the
back.
enthusiasm for it was great, and there were
people there singing the words to the songs.
Yeah,
as
which
well,
we
which
didn't
is,
expect that to happen.
surreal.
We don't even know the words to our own songs.
No,
and
well,
other
I
people
don't.
know them.
No, but we went to Leeds, just this random city, and there were people there that had heard our music, that were fans of ours, singing the lyrics back, and invested in it, and
That's nice.
that was a shock. To go from lockdown for 2 years, not seeing anyone, to just going out into the world again, and people have been hearing what you've been struggling to put out.
Yeah. And we still had our keyboards on bar stools as well. Which
My
is
forgot-
keyboard was on a
jeez.
big
we haven't changed too much.
We forgot to bring
Gosh.
keys,
yeah,
so
it was good. Kind of a yes and no thing.
it
because
is, yeah.
certain songs from the EP that we've had for 4 or 5
Well,
years.
There, a lot of the songs on the EP, we mixed them and recorded them in a sort of DIY setting, and it was great to just have a bit of money we could spend and produce the songs to a certain standard.
The way we've always
the
kind of
way we
heard them in our heads.
envisioned them.
But we did use lockdown to there were certain songs that wouldn't have been written without COVID happening, Let Me Know was one that just came about through the circumstances that we were in,
yeah.
and that's kind of the one that got us a bit of recognition from the record label that we're with now, Akira. And if COVID hadn't happened, that song wouldn't have been written, and
This interview would not
There's
be
always
happening right
a
now.
little domino effect of things,
Yeah.
circumstances that.
But at the
lead
time, we
to the
didn't
next.
think of COVID as a tool. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think at least
Just stuck with
COVID
it.
did give us a lot of time. All of the recording and production for the EP was still done completely remotely, over Zoom calls. But I mean, the amount of time that we had on our hands to do all of that stuff, with no jobs, no gigs going on, we had a lot of time to just put into that EP, and yeah, I think we're really happy with it.
very
because of
very
that.
proud of it as well.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
tweaked?
It was, yeah.
Bob was,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had
Putting
them
drums in.
remixed and
Graham
remastered.
doesn't even know.
Graham
I
wasn't
didn't know
there.
that.
He
I
wasn't
don't really
there
listen
that
to Bob
day.
that
I don't
much.
really listen to our
Sorry.
band. Yeah. No, the songs that had been written before, we went back and we remixed and remastered them, sort of re-envisioned them. We did a lot to Licorice.
Yeah, Bop and
Um,
Licorice were done very quickly when they were initially released, and
I think Dislocate had the
I
most work done.
disagree. I mean, like those two songs, we actually went into a studio.
Guys,
and we
let's not have a
recorded
fight
this-
in the interview.
yeah,
Like-
Oh, sorry.
Stop,
I'll back
seriously.
off.
Too late, man.
Actually, you know what? No.
no, let's
Team,
go.
let's fucking go.
What is this now?
What's going on?
This is
here?
UFC now.
Alright.
But with
It's the
so I'm just gonna talk and you're gonna let me
main
talk.
card.
I'm gonna talk and you're gonna listen.
With Bop and Licorice, there was always little things that we were kind of like, oh, I wish we could have just done this little part a bit differently, and it was really great finishing the EP because we got to finally just, put the full stop on them and lift them that
Yeah.
little bit
Really,
extra.
Yeah.
Was it?
I mean, seriously, are you joking right
Get
now?
wrecked.
Sorry. We do this all the time.
Next question before this comes to fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
Let's go.
Well, I say like a lot of the big decisions were already made before we brought the songs to another producer. It was more just adding like little details and like making it a little bit more glossier.
Which I suppose is probably the best thing about us all being more involved in the
Yeah.
production is that most of the really important decision making is done before it gets to anyone else. So we don't
Yeah.
ever feel like control is being taken away from
Yeah.
us musically or
And
sonically.
we worked with really great producers that we could trust as well.
Yeah.
Like Adam Redmond that worked on Let Me Know. We love his style of production.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can have a bit of freedom with this song because we know you're gonna like the result is gonna be
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
you love.
We already
So,
had the core of it there.
Yeah.
So we always kind of intentionally leave a bit of space for someone to take that next little leap with the production.
I think as well the producers that we chose to work with were producers that we admired a lot, admired their work, and we chose the songs that we chose to bring to certain producers were songs that we envisioned them working really well on, and I think that's what happened as well.
It's probably one of our oldest songs.
Yeah, it started off as a. I mean, like most of the core of the song was still there musically, and the narrative in it, the lyrics were all there. But it started off as a much more fast-paced, sort of four to the floor, like punk energy kind of song, and then it was actually just too fast to play for a while.
Yeah.
And then until
Just got a different. We slowed down the bass line and we kind of made the
Put some
bass line a
keyboards
little
in it,
bit more
synths and
funky.
stuff.
and
we made it a bit more chilled out. We gave it more space. I think it's weird that you say it's one of the more like mature tracks because I think it is, but it was a song that I think I wrote at 19 or something.
I think you were younger. Than
Yeah,
that.
we were younger than that.
Like 17 or 18.
17 or 18.
Yeah.
Then I was definitely just trying to reach. I was trying to trying to reach for something nice.
You did it, man.
Yeah, no, I do love that song.
Well done.
Yeah. It was, after a breakup, I got very sad, very deep. So I'm going to turn this into something.
Don't
That's
cry,
what
man.
happened. But yeah. I love playing that song live as well. There's such a good balance in it, starting off slow and building up and then just a release. And
I think it's one that we always kind of forget about that we have because we've had it for like 5-6 years
Yeah.
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuff that we had released before, and then once we got signed and realized we had, a bit of backing to like make them
They
how
just
we
haven't
always
reached their
wanted.
full potential, I don't
Yeah, yeah, and
before.
I think songs can't really until you've given them to like an outside ear, someone who doesn't have your tunnel vision, who just hears the song for what it is without your biases about the songs and like how you imagined it at the start might be hindering where it is at the moment, and you need someone to come in with a fresh pair of ears and just enjoy it for what it is and go, let's try this with it.
Because everything we wrote up until like last year was in a bedroom on a laptop, and I think it's important to get people who aren't in
Your headspace as well.
that aren't in like our sitting room making it with us. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be someone to kind of listen to it objectively and just go.
And who has way
"This
better
needs to
equipment as
change."
well.
Someone who has expensive gear that we don't have. to
Someone
make it
with a lot of
sound-
money.
Someone who
You're
sound-
right, yeah.
someone who makes it sound a lot nicer than we can.
Yeah. It was definitely, I mean, it started, I was writing lyrics to this song, and then just Cian and Graham were messing around in our rehearsals
That's not like
room.
us, actually.
Yeah, they were
Do
just
that.
messing around, playing the same keyboard, two halves of the same keyboard in our rehearsal room, and they were
Is that
just
rec-
playing these chords, these two chords. Yeah, you probably don't remember it because you're probably
Yeah, no,
drinking.
I remember the night, but I didn't
Um,
think Come Over came from that. That's
No,
mad.
it did. I had these lyrics, and then I had always recorded that on my phone, and then I sort of imposed the lyrics on that, and then I just loved how that sounded, and the jam, they were just playing these two chords over and over again, and like adding little like
It's one of
flares
my
and stuff.
it's one of my favorite recording memories, or one of my favorite songwriting
Yeah.
memories, because we
Just in my kitchen.
it was like the first time that me and Graham were like actually involved in like the production of our songs. And it was like 3 days over a weekend. We were in my house, and then we were in Barry's house.
I think
and then we
Danny
were
was in
Graham's
Glastonbury
house.
or something, were you?
Yeah.
You were away
I
somewhere.
think you were going to see Coldplay with your dad. Was it that
Oh,
time?
yeah.
loser.
Something like that.
Coldplay with your
Who's
dad.
Coldplay? I don't know who that is.
But we just kind of, it was this really nice thing where Barry just had two chords, and that was it. So we knew like it was a super simple idea.
Yeah, and I think with our songs in general, and with all of the songs on the EP, like we didn't really have one of those kind of songs that didn't go there, if you get me, that didn't like build to this like, I don't know, like crazy poppy section with all of these like guitars like bouncing off each other, and it was nearly hard to just stick to it. I remember like when I was like trying to like finish the song after had like worked all of those like little, I mean there's like one melody and like there's just a guitar melody.
Just two chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you mentioned like the details in the song, for me, like most of the details is just on the vocal performance, and it's just kind of sitting within this kind of
Atmosphere.
washy sound. Because there's only two chords in the whole song, so it's interesting. Like the detail is really in just the enunciation and how you like perform each lyric.
And it's subtle, but it's there.
we kind of wanted it to be
Which
this
is
thing where
refreshing.
it's like you just are throughout the whole song slowly,
Turning
Dial
on
it
the
up,
vibe, yeah.
but it's never getting to the point where it's
It
overdoing
explodes.
it, or it ever like explodes into something else.
I think it's one of my favorite songs because it's not like the other ones.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised that we wrote it and chose to put it out, but I'm really happy that we did.
It was a funny story though when we were doing it in the kitchen of my house, when you were doing the scream at the end, and my mum came in and she started like fucking around with the glasses or something in the press, but you didn't want to do it again because it was hard to do. So it was always in the very first demo. My mum just fucking
You just hear
messing
like
with
glasses.
something.
moving.
Yeah.
Should have kept that in. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Could have
I
sampled
just always
it.
remember that. That's
Made
what it
some
reminds me of
percussion.
the song.
Yeah. That's all we are, man. Sadness and longing. I thought about that a lot as well, and I think, like, it's weird. I don't think it's really that hard once you're just like being honest with yourself. Like, I mean, like there's a lot of like there's a lot of weight placed on like individuality and everyone being like so different and like, but I think people are more similar than they are different, and like everything that's important is important to everyone. And so when you write a song that means something to you, it will inevitably mean a lot to someone else as well. Like, we all care about the same things. Like, all we write about is love, whether it's like a romantic love or just a love for your family or for your friends. That's what we write about, and that's something that's universal. And I think when you're writing from there, it will just connect with other people. They'll feel it too.
It's beautiful.
That's
Thanks.
so
That's really
poetic.
nice.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
beautiful.
I was waiting for that question. I asked Danu to ask that.
You've been preparing for that for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you've had it written out.
I don't remember.
I don't know why.
I didn't find it too hard. It was kind of.
I think the first EP was more set than the one that's upcoming.
It felt pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Well, we did know that we wanted to re-release the songs that we had released.
Yeah.
So that took a lot of.
The only one that was nearly not going to be on it was Come Over.
Probably.
That was the only one we were kind of like between us and the label and everything. We were kind of like, is this the one to put out?
Yeah, it felt like an album song.
Yeah. That was kind of I think that was the last one that was decided on.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's only a problem we have now. Not a problem, but.
Yeah. Spoiler: we're having a lot of trouble choosing the
we
next.
just don't know
EP.
which songs to put on.
We just don't have any more good songs.
No, I was gonna say they're all too good, and we can't decide on any.
Undersell it, man.
Ask us that question when the next EP comes out. And we'll
the next interview. Yeah.
But yeah, we did have a little bit of trouble with what was gonna go in the place of Come Over, but everything else
I don't even remember
was
that.
pretty obvious. We knew what was gonna be on it from when we started it. I think mostly.
Yes.
Are we?
Are we? Is it the 17th?
Like,
Yes.
it probably is.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't keep up to date with those emails.
I trust the email then rather than us.
Yeah.
It's coming back infinitely better than the first version.
Yeah, that meme
it's coming
page we were
back in a
talking
big
about.
way.
The meme page we were talking about had the old recording of it, and
Really?
it sounds terrible.
Yeah, there's this.
It was on
girl,
their Instagram story, and it
she,
sounds
yeah,
shite.
she put it on her story. I don't know how she still has it.
We don't know if it's a she.
But we
It
do. We
could
looked.
be.
We looked it up.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
But it came up on the Instagram story, and we were just like, that sounds awful. And
It sounds really bad.
It
I don't know
sounds
how the fuck
terrible.
that was released ever. Like,
so we have a much better version of it now.
can't wait till it's
Yeah.
released.
Yeah, we
The
did.
sweatiest day ever
Yeah.
in human history.
It was at the
I
start.
wasn't having fun.
No.
Well, see, we did.
I had like
I'd say we did.
bruise on my arm.
You started bleeding all over the guitar.
bleeding,
Like,
'cause the
I bled
It's
it
rock
out.
and
man
roll,
was just
man.
like
That's what it
more
is.
energy, like, and we had to do the take. What, like 7?
Yeah.
700
So there's this guy from Leeds called Liam, okay, and he's a masochist.
Yeah.
He's a psychopath.
He's
Oh,
a,
we fucking
he's a
love him,
sadist.
Psycho with a camera.
Greasy
No,
Waffle.
he
It's great.
we had to play that song for the live video. We had to play that song over and over. I'd say about 17 times. Yeah, and it was in this like maybe more in this small studio, and Liam, who's recording it, every time we'd play it, he'd go, give me more, like to the point where we were just like jumping around and not even playing it properly anymore.
You started bleeding all over your guitar.
Yeah, it
It was
was.
sore.
It was
a sore video.
It was a lot of fun for the first half.
So it
and like
wasn't
that,
very
but-
fun by the end of it.
No, it was great fun.
It was great fun, but everyone like at the end of it, you were like,
product
"Oh
is
my
worth it."
back!"
Yeah.
And you were like, you couldn't stand up properly and everything. It was pretty rough.
It just felt like a workout, really.
I hope
like,
that came across.
it did though.
You know?
That we didn't
All
like
all
it.
that
How we didn't have
suffering.
fun.
But insane that like Liam did fucking loads. He was running around with a big camera on his
He
back.
was
like,
just
fucking-
as messed up as we were after.
He
it,
was
the camera.
sweating,
Yeah.
like.
He's in hospital now.
Yeah, he's in a coma.
This isn't Liam's interview, okay? Let's
Yeah.
talk.
Sorry, Liam.
Sorry, Liam.
We're gonna release us first.
Yeah, we have
and
us
then
coming out. We have
a music video for it.
yeah.
Mm.
We have a
Um,
few
gigs.
support slots with some.
We're gonna be
Right.
playing.
Bands.
We're gonna be playing with Somebody's Child on the 26th in the Button Factory.
Oh, pulled that number out. Well done. I would not have
I
remembered
think
that.
it's the 26th. We have a bad rep in this band with getting our own gig dates wrong. So I hope I
And
got
release
that one
dates.
Yeah,
obviously.
we have a gig. We have a gig in London
Thursday.
next week. on
London
the
next
11th.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, just gigging basically for the rest of this year, and we're releasing us as well.
We're gonna work on the next EP.
Yeah.
As well.
We're figuring it out.
More music.
More music, more gigs. We shot a video for us as well, which is gonna be great.
Our label have been telling us to do more TikToks, so we're gonna try that
I
out.
tried it for a bit. Yeah.
It's hard for us. We are Gen Z, but we're the older side of Gen Z who aren't used to TikTok, and it's very strange to us, and we can't get it right. But we'll try.
We can't do it.
Check our TikTok out. See for
Check
yourself.
it out,
See what you think.
It's kind of
Do
shit.
you like
but,
our
you know,
TikToks?
might get a laugh out of it.
There's like 3 nice
Actually,
TikToks.
don't check the TikTok.
Do we need more?
That's the
TikToks?
point. That's the point of us doing it,
I
man.
know, but
Why
there's
else?
some very ridiculous
Oh, then
videos.
we'll take them down. Fuck it.
It's hard, but it's what's happening now. So I don't think there's anything to get. I mean, like
Such is the beauty.
such as therein lies
beauty
the
of the
road.
top.
Therein lies the
Beauty of
rub.
the
top.
Aye.
No, it's It's obscure,
Oh, it's
alright.
Shakespeare quotes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, TikTok is a Shakespeare poem. Way.
You give us whiskey, we start talking Shakespearean. It's good.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway.
Ruining our own interview, I think.
That's funny.
I think this is what makes the interviews good.
Yeah.
Don't ask
Palmer.
Don't go off the cuff with this stuff, man. It never ends well.
Really think about what you want to say before you,
Check out the new songs. We have exciting stuff on the
That's
way, and keep it real. You know, just go for it. Wake up every day and just think to yourself,
Go to sleep at night.
I'm gonna keep this real.
And
I'm
most
gonna keep today real.
Most importantly, be who you are.
That's
This is
another good one.
horrible. We have to end this now.
I think we could go on like this for another half an hour.
Conceive, achieve.
Reduce, reuse,
Have a baby.
recycle.
Have a baby. Believe. Have a baby. Achieve.
And then achieve.
The baby will make that harder. but-
Sorry.
Right, okay, yeah. Thank you, Indie Buddy, for
Whoa.
interviewing me.
Thanks, Indie Buddy.